Alrighty, so basically, this is going to be my state of the collection of airsoft pistols. I'm a big GBB fan, and most of the time I use these pistols for training and also to get myself familiar with different platforms and see what I actually like for real steel. The first thing I ever got was a Deagle, and I think it's interesting to look at the prices because I paid $189 for it, and now they're going for more. So a lot of the prices that I paid for these have changed, and then also what I've done to modify these. So this, I put like some $20 Amazon laser on here just to make it look more crazy than it already is. This from factory does not have this red dot. And what I did was I took nail polish and I put it here. And doing that, it's actually very permanent and very easy solution for this. I bought 2 mags for it. The one it came with worked totally fine. Recently, I saw reviews as like there's a piece in here that you should file down or it'll wear the mags or something. But I have reloaded this like a million times and I've had 0 issues. Other than that, this thing kicks a lot, wastes a ton of gas. 0 reliability issues. Did I ever bring this to the field? Once, and it brings a lot of attention, but I think now it's less attention grabbing. There are newer kits where you can make it even longer and stuff like that. I don't know about the grips. I wanted to change them for real steel. I recently joined the heavy recoil club, so I could probably figure out what grips will work for this. Other than that, I feel like the safety selector is a little loose. It could be tighter. There's probably a way to make it tighter, but I've never had it like fall off or like change mid shooting. The slide, surprisingly, to pull back is not that difficult. It is a large gun, so you need big hands. Luckily, this slide release is extended, so it's very easy to manipulate, even though it's a gigantic gun. The trigger, very light. Like, there's the wall, and there it goes. And for reset, you hear a click. Yeah. What would I give this out of 10? I'd give this like 8.5. I think the nostalgia of this like cool ass gigantic gun and then Call of Duty 4 probably made me purchase it. Realistically, it's very heavy. The markings are not as deep, but they're pretty good. It's held up pretty well. Gas efficiency, that's the only thing. And the base plates rattle. And I've tried to put like paper and stuff, but they still end up like there's probably a way to make them less rattly, but it's not really that much of an issue. I bought next was the TTI from Terran Tactical Jag Arms, and I took the extended mag release off of it and put it on this gun. This gun had this was the first gun where I had an issue, and it's because the hammer was very thin and it broke off. The gun still functions totally fine. The hammer somehow is still intact, but this is like mostly pot metal. That's what it's made out of. Let's see. I bought 3 of these mags. I will say, out of all my guns, this has the smoothest slide. And it's reliable. I had no misfeeds. Only thing that's a little weird is that this extended mag release is removable. And I put Loctite on it because it would kind of grind off. Whenever I reload, I don't really use my thumb that much. I just change grip and I just press it with my middle finger. It's still, I don't know why. It's just me. The only other thing I did was I bought this extended mag. And and I think I bought it from WE, this one, and it does not work. So this basically is a lemon. There's a way, because the valve knocker on this from that is different. They're slightly different. Now, it varies, because when I was looking through YouTube, I saw different people saying different things, like this works, this doesn't work. This is not working for me. I bought this around 2021, and I paid $160 for it, and I think these are like way more expensive now. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, a little bit of inflation. Would I recommend this? I think they made a Sand Viper, which is like a newer version. I mean, I would. If you like the older John Wick. It does have a threaded barrel. I don't remember which one it would take. It probably says it somewhere online. The trigger on it is very nice. Very distinct wall breaks. Yeah. Overall, I'd give this maybe like a 6.5, because the hammer breaking is a little annoying. And I tried to get a replacement hammer for this, and it was literally a whole like issue, because let me see here. Yeah, I tried to get this like high kappa standard, and it did not work. Like, I bought it, it's sitting somewhere. When if I buy a high kappa, I'll probably use it or give it. One more thing I forgot to mention is, so I bought 2 more of these Jag Arm mags, and one of them started just not taking gas anymore, and one of them leaks very slowly. Note, I kept these mags like with a little bit of gas in storage for maybe like a year, and they still somehow failed. All my other gas blowback mags don't do that. So maybe O-ring issues you might have with this. So be wary. This pistol taught me more about like maintenance on GBBs. Okay, moving on. The other one that I got was this SIG, and I paid it pretty good, because the amount, I think I paid 109. Yeah, and this one was refurbished, and it was from it was a CO2 model. So I have a CO2 mag, and I bought 2 green mass mags because it takes both. This is heavily used. I use this a lot. I did a bunch of upgrades to it, made it more ridiculous looking than anything. This pistol is the only pistol that I think, yeah, it fit me very well. Like, and because of this, I learned like what pistols work, what don't for real steel. So this is very close to what the real steel SIGs are. And now whenever I have a real steel version of this and I practice with that, unfortunately they have like trigger problems where they accidentally go off. But I don't carry that. As a daily, I usually just use it for ranges and stuff like that. It's just a shooting gun. It makes a very satisfying clicking noise, like with the original barrel. So I changed this for the let me see what I put in here. I put a bunch of stuff. Not this. Let me see. Yeah, so the trigger that I put in here is discontinued. For some reason, it was a 9-ball trigger, and I paid like $10 for it. It was very cheap, and it had the ability to adjust the throw, because I think before it was like really annoying. Now the wall is like right here, and yeah, any more tuning you do to that, and it doesn't like the hammer doesn't like reset properly. That's what it looks like aimed down sight with the SIG Air sight. The thing that I learned is actually when you put a sight on pistols, the slide becomes super sluggish. So I ended up getting like this was the sight. I ended up getting this recoil spring. So that way it actually like moves forward again without being so super slow. And it probably helps because the CO2 is a bit rough. This mag, I dropped it and the base plate kind of fell off, so I taped it. That's why it's like that. And the feed lip broke, so that's a very common fix. I think this one screw, you can take it out and you can get a replacement. But I just use this for, just dry fire training. And then these also, I just put like a sticky note in there so it doesn't lock the slide back, so I can dry fire. I put this compensator on it because I thought it would be really funny to have just a super ridiculously long gun for no reason. And two-tone. This hoe grip also was an addition. It just made it thicker, and I like rubber grips. I'm like a rubber grip fan, but the original plastic grip on this is actually perfect. And this was before they made Talon grips for the 6 hours. Now, if I was to go back, I would go for the Talon because I like stippled grips. I don't like normal like plastic grips like the Deagle. Like this stippling is nice. Let me see. And then this I bought along with this barrel with the thread on the other end. And I'm going to say that this barrel weighs like 10% of what the original one does. And honestly, I wouldn't do this whole comp setup because this $50 and the barrel weighs nothing. And realistically, okay, it makes it lighter, but it's like much cheaper, less thick, and I even bought it for this one. And honestly, I just went back to the original barrel because it has a unique like clinking noise that I like. But this kind of removes it and makes it like that. But yeah, other than that, solid workhorse. Fielded it a lot. You can see the wear. Yeah, zero complaints. I would give this like a 9. Very solid. Let's talk about this, like a small 1911. Honestly, this is like where I started thinking about like more carry options. Now this is a real Springfield Armory V10 and has a comp like built into it. It has nothing to do with Airsoft, but the one thing I did was I swapped out the extended mag. I mean, not the extended, the slide catch for the one from the Terran Tactical. It does affect the lock back. And these mags are a little bit of a problem. So one thing that I liked about this is that they have like these smaller mags and they're very flush. They're flush. But what I did was I actually took these standard 1911 mags and they came with a base plate from let me see, from I think Salient Arms. Yeah, this one. So I took these, like the base plate off of it, and basically slid it onto the standard mag, and it was, this was so genius. Because now I don't get any issue where like I accidentally get my pinky caught because, it will pinch me. And I did that for 2 of these. So realistically, I just like sit at my desk and just play around with it. Very smooth, like almost as smooth as the Terran Tactical. And honestly, very fun, like indoor shooting gun. It kicks really hard for how small it is. And then because it's a single stack, the gas efficiency on these are not the greatest, but that's fine. The only other thing is these standard mags. When it's open like this, if you slam this in, you can actually probably get it way higher than it's supposed to, and then it will jam like that. And you probably have to like push this down and reseat it. But if you slam it while the thing is forward, nothing happens. It's just, a little bit of a tolerance thing. Cool thing about these is when you pull this down, you can actually just feed the BBs through the hole, which makes it very easy to use. These mags never had any leaking problems. The only thing is I think I lost the front sight on this. It's somewhere. realistically, this is not going to get much range. It's more of like a point and shoot type of pistol. The hammer on this is way thicker, so it didn't snap off like the Terran Tactical. I did try to remove the sight and put a red dot on this, and that interferes with the entire like hop up and nozzle thing. And there was a bunch of grinding that it was just. And then the thing is, once you put a dot or anything on this, the slide starts like not reciprocating well. So that's the thing. Other than that, the trigger on this is fantastic. It's very little wall. Immediately. Oh, I accidentally pulled it. Yeah, there's another issue sometimes. If you ride the like you have to really you can't ride the slide forward, or then this hammer will come with it. I'm pretty sure that's with most 1911s. But yeah, other than that, solid reloading piece that I have. Very small, compact. And then this, when I'm going to compare it to this, weighs like way more. And this is actually what I'm probably going to end up using as a concealed carry. It's the P365, and they are, one is much smaller, much lighter, and it has like red dot capable. The only thing is this trigger is like terrible. Yeah, all of that doesn't do anything. But it has a very short end, so it's very fast. But I will probably give a full review of this later on. I did get this with the reload thing. My thing is I like having these extended pads, even with the Proforce, because when I do a double index, it gives me another place to grip and gives me more control. This is Airsoft, doesn't really kick that hard, but for let's see, for practice, it's pretty good. The only complaint I have about this is actually the slide is really slow for some reason. It's not as snappy. I think I have to work it in more. I haven't shot this that much yet. I'm low on gas, but that's the only thing. I did put a different barrel on here with the threads, but it doesn't make this this noise that it's satisfying, that clink. It gets less, than that barrel weighs nothing compared to this, and I feel like this barrel's actually nicer than that pot metal one. I'm hoping they're going to give a stronger spring, because when you put dots or optics on airsoft pistols, that spring has more weight to deal with, and it usually causes issues. Other than that, this red dot that I put on here just barely fit, but then when I put in the screws, it was a little too high and the battery wasn't sitting where you can see there's a little gap. So I put electrical tape here, and that squished the internals of this sight in, so it's now holding. But yeah, other than that, pretty decent. And then let me show you the trigger once more. So this is the whole, and it's very you can the trigger is not very light. It's not going to go off. You have to get to the wall, and then you have to really pull. And then the reset is almost 1 millimeter. It's very small, right there. And then again, so when you're shooting this, it's pop, 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 pop. It's very, very fast. But yeah, that long pull is good. This gun does not have a safety on it. Most of my pistols always have a safety on it, because I don't know why. I hand a gun to somebody that's not experienced, they grab it and they literally just point and shoot at me. So sometimes having a safety, I train with it. I can take it off. But yeah, because of that long pull, that's actually good. So when I get the real steel concealed carry for this, I will probably not have a safety if that throw is that long. I will be getting a light for this. It's actually hard to get a light for this, but I ordered something from Temu, and we'll see how that fares. Okay, so this is my Another one of these guns I collected because I just collect them, and also because I really hate Glocks, which is weird. So this is it was very cheap. I think this is like, yeah, $89. Surprisingly, the magazine is almost half the gun. It runs CO2, which is good. So I just use this as like a dry fire training. This gun sucks because I don't know what it is. Oh, finally. So the slide will sometimes like not lock back, or will get jammed halfway through. Wow, that's not doing it. Like that. That will happen, and then I have to push it forward. But I learned that actually, probably, like, if you have this halfway pulled or fully pulled, and you do this, it'll work. So something is catching on the inside of this. I usually, it comes with 2 other grips, and I like to have a higher grip. So like my finger ends up above this dumbass trigger safety, which this gun has another. Yeah, so there's just a lot of safety. And because of that, sometimes I get a lockup until I so like I don't pull like this very smoothly. Sometimes it's like, yeah. And that's usually why I don't have Glocks. Real steel Glocks, everything. I've tried it. I hate them. I literally hate them. I want to like them because they're super customizable and stuff like that, and it's very nice. But I don't know. I like SIGs. They fit. They work. I use them. So I'm straying away. I saw the new Gen 6 of the Glock come out, which has like a higher cut, so we'll see how that works. I got this weird laser for it, mainly because I think this looks like the gun that Leon Kennedy uses in Resident Evil. Like the older game. I think the newer one is like a SIG. So I put a laser on it, and basically it's one of those guns I just collect just to have. There's one more that I have that I'm too lazy to get, and this is the barrel that I was talking about for this, and it was like $50, and it's trash. Honestly, I would regret that. I don't like that I bought it. This I got at Dan WESSON, like CO2 pistol. Yeah, and I got like, I think the 6-inch version. Yeah, and I just got it because it's shells, and I like reloading, like having that physical like fidget that I can do sitting around. And it's very nice, except that this like grip is plastic, and like this is also a plastic grip, and for some reason they're just so uncomfortable. I do a lot of like dry fire training. I play with the gun basically, and luckily because of Airsoft, there's no risk of me accidentally negligently discharging my firearm randomly in my house. That will never happen, and then I don't have to worry about that. And it gives you a lot of practice with it. But this, it's like very uncomfortable. Like in a range day, I will go maybe put 50 rounds, maybe like every day for a week or something, right, to get some training. But the thing is, you're not holding the gun for that long periods. And, if you're like in those long standoff, you're barricaded in a room, you need to use like home defense, you're gonna hold this pretty hard, like dear life. So I realized that some polymer grips just suck to hold for long periods of time. Like I'll sit and I'll be like studying or doing whatever for like long hours, and after a while I'm like, yeah, this thing, I hate holding it. It doesn't feel nice. The only ones that I liked are the SIGs. I guess I'm a SIG fan. For polymer, if not, the rubberized or stippled grips usually work. But yeah, this one is good. Yeah, that plastic grip is very uncomfortable. I know they make a newer version of this that has a rubberized Hogue grip. I'd rather buy that than this. But yeah, this I would give like a 4 out of 10. This one currently is sitting at a 9 out of 10. And then that silver one I just had, that one also I give I think like an 8.5. This is just a plinker, like CO2. I think it shoots too high. I think this is like 400 FPS or something. I feel like I could put steel BBs in this and use it to like shoot rodents or something. But yeah, that concludes my current collection